Well, hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson and I'm so excited to be talking about a show-stopping performance here. Okay, if you could you introduce yourself to our little camera audience over there? Tell me your name and give us a little bit about this show.
Yes, my name is Aster. I am from Burnaby, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and the name of my show is Showstopper. It's about myself. I'm an egomaniac television executive producer, and I have never been given the green light to make my own original show. 30 years at Tigers Gate, Canada, and they have not given me anything. So I go to rather extreme means to make it because my overall deal is expiring very soon. Yeah.
I see. All right. So talk to me. So what? You're the creator of this show, correct?
Yes.
So talk to me about that development process. How did this idea start, and where has it evolved to the Fringe?
Absolutely. So originally I had another show that was supposed to go up at the Toronto Fringe. It was called Skyhook, but unfortunately it fell apart due to creative differences. My team was really not collaborating with me, even though I was the executive producer. It would really be in their best interests to, make sure I was on board with every decision they were making, but they did not do that. So I fired them all and decided that I would make a show about making a show about having a team that does not want to work with you.
So this is a true story.
It's metafiction. I've taken a couple creative liberties. Right. However, the inception of the idea did begin in the midst of a horrible falling out with Skyhook.
And Skyhook, this was one of my questions. It's still in the program as Skyhook. So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, were you able to talk to the friend? How does that work? That it's still Skyhook, but it's Showstopper now.
Yes, the program guide was printed before I had to disband my original team.
Right.
So I think it was May 15th was the day that I decided to pull the plug on Skyhook. By then, the program guide had already been printed.
Right.
I contacted the festival administration, Toronto Fringe, letting them know that I would still stay making a show, working title Showstopper, and within May up until now, that was when I began. I would have loved to have had more time,
right,
because normally they alert you that you've been accepted in December, but I spent 4 to 5 months trying to make Skyhook work.
But we're here now, and that's all you can do. And you're a first time Fringer since being out of school, correct? So other than the falling out, I mean, what joys has the Fringe brought you, or is it all just, my God, what's going on?
I am embracing the chaos. I love that Toronto Fringe is a very busy time. A lot of people running around, lots of fast developments happening every single day. It kind of is like television, and in a sense, I could have gone straight from undergrad to an MFA, but I feel like Toronto Fringe is my grad school. I'm learning so much. I love making theater.
All right, so what's your most favorite thing you've learned then?
I think probably that it's important to make sure that with every person that you meet, you look them in the eye, know their name, treat them with respect, and not everyone is going to reciprocate that, but it's important to choose people who are choosing you.
That's beautiful. That's what a wonderful thing to learn at a theater festival. I mean, come on now. And have you learned anything about maybe producing your own show and taking that with the Fringe,
Absolutely. Well, humanity is the core of, I think, all arts, theater especially, live performance, absolutely. And I think one key thing I now keep in mind about producing is that the best decision does not necessarily come from the person at the top. It's important when you have a team of any size to use every voice in the room, listen to ideas, keep ego out of it. Unless people are intentionally excluding you. But anyway, I'm the star of Showstopper.
You are the star of Showstopper. So talk to me a little bit about that. I mean, it's a solo show. So what kind of I guess stamina do you need to have in order to put on something like this?
I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and a monster energy. I think I enjoy the chaos. While I'm still young, while I can still do a lot, I'm kind of trying to test the limits of just how much one person can do. But of course, I don't want to take all the credit. I know that my team, Alex, Praveen, Paul, the Fringe technicians, have all been working very hard on getting all my technical difficulties that are planned, but some are spontaneous, just right. And so I really just want to shout out Alex, Praveen, Paul, Jay, Za, Orphelia, everyone doing their absolute best to help me do my absolute best as well.
That's wonderful. And talk to me a little bit about this experimental sound and lighting, these experimental technical elements. What can maybe people expect to see?
Yeah, the way I wrote the cues in the script, like, they are down to the word. So at unexpected moments, I do start glitching, camera storage full, we're out of battery. Oh, please excuse the technical difficulties due to something. Tonight's performance of Showstopper has been canceled. Sometimes the tech stops the show, other times I stop the show. It's all about control, you run your show and see who takes control.
I see, very cool. And now I ask everyone this question, and what is Canadian theatre, and how does Showstopper fit into the landscape of Canadian theatre, being it's so experimental?
Yeah, I think that Canadian theatre, because having moved here about a month ago, my impression of the scene here is that it is a lot more independent. I think I see a lot of really inspirational creators just taking the reins on their original productions, and I think one criticism, at least that I've heard about Canadian film and TV, is that it is risk averse, so I want to challenge that. I definitely want to be a narrative voice that isn't afraid to be weird and triple down on the weirdness.
Triple down on the weirdness. Now, I love that. And so, in your thing, it says it's a traumedy. There's a traumedy. I always thought that was just dramedy. So what's the difference between traumedy and then dramedy? Where do those tie in, or where do they differ?
Great question. I think that I distinguish drama from trauma in the sense that, there's like a situational anxiety when something unfortunate happens to you, like you spill your coffee on the floor. You could make a whole drama about spilling your coffee on the floor and make it very dramatic, play up your reactions. But trauma is different for every person. The worst thing that has ever happened to someone is the worst thing that has ever happened to someone.
Right.
But I think where mental health and psychiatry get involved is when I start to notice physical responses to triggers or, very particular things that activate me. That, I think, is how I define a traumedy as opposed to a dramedy.
I see it. No, I love that. I mean, that's very clear to me. And so I'm now thinking like trauma, and then having the computer glitches. Like, what are those tie-ins? Are the technical elements, I guess, reflections of mental health?
I love that interpretation. As a 23-year-old who largely grew up on the internet, I think that when I freeze up or fawn or fight or flight as a trauma response, I do often think of myself as a digital computer, just not functioning the way that is expected of me. I don't know. We are biological creatures. However, we don't have too much, but we're not too different from computers. If the connections are there if you want to draw them.
Absolutely. And that's just very cool. So I also have to ask everyone this question. Speaking of computers, computers are expensive, technology's expensive. Where's your money going?
Where is my money going? Currently, I am saving up for my drag sona, Luna E. Clit. She is debuting. Did I pronounce that right?
Debuting, yeah.
Debuting at the Toronto Fringe Drag Open Stage this Friday.
Whoa.
But I also spent quite a fair bit of expenses traveling from New York to Toronto. Yeah, I think the largest budgetary portions were travel and Luna's drag fit.
I see. Okay, well now you've piqued my interest. Talk to me about Luna.
Yeah, Luna is not officially a part of Showstopper. I did not write her a scene, and she's very upset about that. However, she has the stage, and stage time, screen time, I think she's a solo act. She does not need to be affiliated with Aster. Those two are both big egos, and they don't get along when they're in the same room. So Luna is everything that Aster is not. So if you think of Aster as like a bright burning sun or star, Luna is the other side of that. She's very yin, Chinese for lunar. She's a lot more demure, mindful, intentional, and composed, while Aster's like fiery and so angry all the time. Just like Aster is chaotic. Luna knows what she's doing.
And so does Luna, obviously Luna doesn't have a scene in Showstopper, but are there elements of Luna that have maybe influenced the development of this piece at all?
I definitely think being halfway through our run here at the Toronto Fringe that Aster is a creator, and creators often get stuck in that ideation phase of like, any idea, I'm just going to try it. I think about Luna when I'm in editing mode, when I need to make cuts, when maybe an idea does not need to make it to the final performance. So does that answer the question?
Totally, absolutely. And I'm curious too. This drag scene's new for you, correct? So talk to me a little bit about that and how that's maybe influenced your work now getting into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I always knew that I was interested in exploring drag as an art form. Early on in my NYU days, well, freshman year, I wore a bright pink wig everywhere I went. Like, I did not want to take that off.
Right.
Finding out I was a person of trans-masculine experience about halfway through, I was like, I think playing with gender and the performative nature of masculinity, femininity, everything that is besides that is really fun for me. I wrote an extended essay on intersectional feminist filmmaking in high school, and I do think about gender very much. It is just a special interest of mine. Drag is just a wonderful facet to explore it through, and I think that there is an art to being a man, woman, non-binary, none, both, either, all of that.
Right, very cool. And are there elements of this gender exploration within Showstopper as well? Being as it's a part of your life, it's a large part of it.
Definitely. I think that Aster, Doctor Assistant Psychiatrist, and Clown Aster all are non-binary at core. You could argue that executive producing, psychiatry, and clowning are more male-dominated fields, and Aster definitely has a complex about being perceived as AFAB. However, I think that the key thing about their non-binariness is that there are certain situations where being perceived as more masculine is to your advantage, and others where being perceived as more feminine is better. Right. So, in the same sense that Aster is all over the place, they're really every gender, everywhere, all at once.
Every gender, everywhere, all at once. I love that. And I mean, would you like to be an executive producer at all?
Unfortunately, yes. I would like to sign an overall deal with a film and television studio well suited for my specific narrative voice before the age of 50, so that I can maybe have a stable income one of these days.
There we go. We've got goals before the age of 50. I mean, that's a pretty impressive goal to reach.
Well, I did the International Baccalaureate Diploma program. I went to New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. I believe in myself.
I believe in you too, damn it. I feel like maybe we can even get this done before 30.
Executive producer before 30 might piss off a lot of people.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what we're in this business to do, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sometimes. Maybe not always. I mean, what was that you learned about empathy and community before all this?
Empathy and community. People will always defeat power and money.
There we go. People will always defeat power and money. I really like that. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share with our little camera audience about this show, about the development of this piece, what you're doing?
I think just that Showstopper is a very exciting beginning for me. I do have other projects in my slate, and when I inevitably get live performance fatigue, I will go back to the screen world. I think I ultimately still am a screenwriter. Film and television are my destiny.
And why do you think that is?
I think I love theater. I love live performances. I was getting a little screen fatigued for sure before Showstopper began. But I think screen is a lot more accessible to global audiences, and you are recording now. It's kind of like wagon and wheel situation. Television used to be live and recorded at the same time.
Right.
The recording is important to me. I want to be documented. In film school, I learned that photography is a medium of the dead, something to remember you by. Like, it's a product, it's ephemera. Live performance, you're alive, but I hope to be well documented before I die.
There we have it. I mean, we're documenting you right now, so we're one step ahead of the game here, folks. All right, well, listen, I've learned so much from you. You're a very intelligent speaker. I've loved chatting with you. So there's nothing else you'd like to share before we sign off here?
Come see Showstopper. We close July 10th.
Come see Showstopper. We close July 10th. Now, you've got 4 more shows coming up. Today was your first day off in a little bit, hey?
Yes.
Did you do anything fun?
I saw Santosh.
How was it?
Hilarious. Now I am even more motivated to hustle, grind, and mindset.
Grindset. I interviewed Santosh the other day, and I feel like I learned so freaking much about grind culture. I mean, come on, I'm sure it was so fun and educational, hey?
I came from New York. They came from New Jersey. We were surrounded by that kind of workaholic burnout culture, for sure.
But we're not going to burn out, or if we do, we're just going to move to film until we burn out, and then we'll go back to theater till we burn out, and we'll just go back and forth until we die, and document it the whole time. All right, well, listen, I've had so much fun chatting once again. So you are at the Soulpepper, the RBC studio, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And the dates in the program are the same, even though it's got a different title. Yes, that is correct. So don't panic, okay? If you see Skyhook in the program, it's not Skyhook, it's Showstopper, which, I mean, it sounds like a showstopper to me, so you gotta catch it. All right, well, thank you once again. This is Daphne St. Clair Ferguson signing off.